My question is, over the last few years, we've seen community as a really important marketing strategy that's come out, and we've had a lot of great examples of B2C brands leverage this really well. Do you think this is relevant in the B2B space as well? If yes, are there any good success or mental models that you've seen for this?
Yeah, I mean, both in B2C and in B2B, I think community building is a very useful way for you to build a captive social media capital, which you can tap into at some point in the future. And this is applicable both across B2C and across B2B. For example, in my current organization at Microsoft, we manage multiple communities of developers, for example, multiple communities of various personae that matter, various IT decision maker communities, right? CDOs, CISOs, etc. Absolutely relevant because it builds a lot of brand salience towards your brand over a period of time. But the question that a lot of businesses grapple with is in terms of identifying a very clear line of sight towards ROI from that community. What does ROI mean? So that is something you need to be very clear on upfront, that it is not going to be dhanda, at least in the short term or even in the near term, right? This is something which is aimed towards building brand salience. It is something, and some of the KPIs that you need to measure to know if your community is moving in the right direction is signal to noise ratio. Right, of all of the conversations that are happening, how many of them are spam versus really value additive conversations? That's one. The second question you've got to ask yourself is do you have a multi-log there in the community, or is it just a monologue or a dialogue? Is it just the brand talking and everybody listening, or the moderator talking and everybody listening, or are there just passive listeners, or are there active contributors in the community? What is the percentage of active contributors in a community? That to me is one of the key indicators of a thriving community. In terms of the number of active contributors as a percentage of the overall community size. You've got so many different startup communities as well, which are so popular in India. You've got Pushstart, you've got Headstart, you've got so many Thai chapters that I am personally a part of. So many of these thriving communities, and the success recipe there is to make sure that there is enough of a value addition for a lot of the community members when they actually join a community. And the trick there is to make sure that during your early stage, you get some aspirational folks to seed that community, to be a part of that community during the early stage. Because we don't get big names to join that community. Let's say you're looking to create a community of startups, for example, and if you don't have some of the top startup icons, right, entrepreneur icons, poster boys, as part of that community during the early stage, you're not going to get the best people to join later on. So that's something again which you need to be cognizant of. Hope that helps.
Yep, awesome. Thank you.